we know that all life starts from the smallest unit of things that can live, which is the cell. It can be made up of smaller things, but like atoms. But atoms are not living. So we consider the cell as the smallest, yet the most basic unit of life. And for some species, it ends with the cells. So for example, we're made of hundreds of cells, but other species of animals may be made up of only one or several cells, and that is it. So some examples of species that are only unicellular, meaning having only one cell, are archaea, bacteria, eubacteria, and other types of bacteria. And for some species or other species, it's not just cells. Cells combine together to form tissue, tissue combine together to form organs combine together to form organ systems, and several organ systems combine together to form an individual organism. There are 5 different levels of organization for an individual living thing. They can be classified into the following levels, such as cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and an individual living organism. Now, 1, the cell. The cell is the smallest unit of structure and function of all living things. Number 2 is tissue. Tissues can be found in organs, and we'll come to that later, but tissues are groups of many different types of similar cells. So for example, a nerve cell is a nerve cell, but many different types of nerve cells make up a nerve tissue, and so on. And this goes for muscles, cells, or any other type of cells that are found in our body. Groups of tissues work together to make an organ, and these different types of tissues work together to perform a specific function in the body. For example, the stomach is made up of hundreds of different types of tissues that work together that digest our food and have acids in the stomach to take down harmful bacteria that is found in our food. And this leads to organ system. An organ system is made up of a lot of organs or just a few organs. Some organ systems that are found in our body are the skeletal, nervous, and endocrine system. All these systems have organs that all work together to carry out a specific function in the body. The skeletal system has lots of bones that keep our body strong, secure, and keep our organs intact. The nervous system is made up of lots of nerves, brain, and the spinal cord that work together to send messages to these organs or organ systems. And the endocrine is made up of lots of glands that control a lot of your things like growth, sleep, metabolism, and etc. This leads to an organism. An organism is made up of a lot of these organ systems that work together to make up an individual living thing, like mice, humans, and snakes. It may just be one organ system or multiple organ systems. And it goes like cell, tissue, organ system, and organism as the overall thing. Next, the organization of living things doesn't just end to an individual living thing. It goes beyond that. It starts off as a population. A population is a group of any living species that live in a particular area. For example, there could be like a lot of goldfish in a specific area, and we would call that a goldfish population. Or humans, we will call that a human population, like the human population in the world. And next is a community. A community is a group of many different types of populations together in the same area. So there could be like a goldfish population, and a coral population, and a shark population. This would all make up a community. And the sharks would all eat the fish, and so on. And this would become an ecosystem, and this would go into ecology. And going back to topic, an ecosystem is made up of two things. Biotic factors, which are living things, like tigers and so on, and non-living things, which are known as abiotic factors, such as water, rocks, sunlight, and other non-living things. The environment is made up of two of these things, and the environment has abiotic factors like water, soil, and other living things that are not living. And it has living things called biotic factors, and it uses these resources to live in its environment. Next is a biome. A biome is like the weather or temperature of a set of ecosystems. So there could be like 2 to 3 ecosystems, but they have a similar weather. That would be called a biome. So like if there was 3 locations, they were all snowy, that would be called a biome. That's the biome of all the similar weather for these ecosystems. And the biosphere is where all the life on Earth exists. Life occurs on water, land, and in the air. And this is where all life can be found. And this is also, and these all 3 parts, the land, water, and air, are all part of the biosphere. And the biosphere is made up of many different types of biomes. And next, life on Earth is very diverse. The diversity of life on Earth is known as biodiversity. This biodiversity means that there is a wide variety of living things that can be found on Earth, from rainforest to the Sahara Desert, and so on. And there are many different types of species on Earth. There are around 10 million species of plants and animals that can be found on Earth. Some are tigers, sharks, hyenas, lions, cats, dogs, and so on. And all these animals are classified into 6 kingdoms. The 6 kingdoms are archaea, bacteria, protists, fungi, animals, and plants. These are the 6 kingdoms in which all the species are classified. And it helps the scientists, in the 6 kingdoms, helps the scientists know what group they're looking at, and it organizes all the animals that are in mumbo jumbo into a more organized book that scientists can reference to later. And anyway,